Howdy folks, I'm Carol and welcome to Over 50, So What? Have you tried doing something different today? Like maybe cleaning your teeth with your left hand or the other hand? Even something as simple as that is great for your brain fitness. And learning new information, which is what this show's all about. Today, Pauline and Andrew are going to share with us some fantastic tips on how we can be more welcoming to the LGBTI community, whether it's your friends and family over 50 or your children and grandchildren. So you know, I am a bit of a disco dancer from way back. Today's routine has a bit of a disco flavour. Just get on your feet and join in with us. And lastly, we're going to a camp for the 55 plus. And we're going to learn about the global sensation, which is geocaching, a modern form of treasure hunt using a GPS device. On this show, we like to cover topics for a diverse range of older Australians. We have those that are working full-time, part-time, or fully retired. We have people living independently in their own homes, in retirement communities, and in aged care. And we cover a broad range of cultural backgrounds. Well, today we're going to look at an often neglected sector, our older LGBTI community. We welcome Pauline Crameri and Andrew Rogers from Vals Aging and Aged Care. This is a program of Rainbow Health Australia, an Australian research centre in sex, health and society at Trobe University. Hi Pauline and Andrew, welcome to Over 50, So What?
Hi Carol,
Hi,
thanks
Carol.
for having us. We're really excited to be here.
I'm very excited to have you on the show to really help elucidate what's happening with the LGBTI older community. And to kick off with, there's a lot of people watching who'll be going, what is LGBTI? And is a Q or a plus, or what do the letters stand for, and what's the best way to refer to this community?
For older people, we'd use LGBTI, which is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and people who have an intersex or bodily variation. Some people use Q, some organisations use Q, which stands for queer. The A stands for aromantic, asexual. The plus indicates that there's a whole variety of sexuality and gender identities that don't kind of fit the traditional boxes. We in the older space use LGBTI because older people have a sensitivity around the use of the Q or the queer word, which was always a term of discrimination, vilification and abuse to them. We don't use Q.
It's also the acronym that government have used up until fairly recently, but certainly in the ageing and aged care space.
Well, fantastic. Thanks for that clarification, because I think a lot of people are really confused. Now, they'll also notice, people watching, that there might be she, he, him, her after your name on the screen. And commonly now you see that more on people's emails, sometimes they, them. Can you explain how this is helpful, how it's come about?
One of the things that the use of pronouns does is it supports an individual's own sense of identity. We know that gender, which was traditionally male or female, there's a spectrum of gender identities. And the use of our pronouns is a way of supporting the notion that when we first meet somebody, we don't necessarily know their gender. You know, they might present with a deep voice on the telephone and you think, oh, that's a man, but that may not necessarily be the case. So using pronouns is a way of saying, I understand that gender identity exists more broadly than just male and female, and I want to respect your identity. And in that sense, it creates a sense of safety for somebody who is transgender or somebody who is gender diverse.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that by us all using our pronouns, you know, on a screen or in our emails or wearing a badge, it's a way of ensuring people don't have to make assumptions. It also really sends a message of welcome.
Now, you're both wearing lovely t-shirts saying Vals LGBTI Aging and Aged Care. Thanks for puffing out your chest there, Andrew. Can you explain, what do you do at Vals?
Vals is the ageing program, the Aging and Aged Care program at Rainbow Health Australia, which is part of the Australian Research Centre in Sex Health and Society at La Trobe University. So it was one of the first research programs that really established a body of work to really help us understand what the experiences are of older LGBTI people. The Vals works with service providers in the ageing and aged care space to build their knowledge and awareness to be LGBTI safe, welcoming and inclusive. But I think we're also really passionate about empowering older LGBTI people to understand the service sector, to access services so that they can stay connected and part of the community as they age. And Andrew, maybe I'll get you to talk about who Val Eastwood was.
We're named after an icon of the LGBTI community who in the 1950s ran a cafe in Swanston Street opposite the Melbourne Town Hall. Her name was Val Eastwood, and the place that she created was a place known to attract a crowd of Melbourne's misfits, of people who were camp and theatrical, was the phrase that was used to describe the people who went to Vals. And what it was really was a safe haven from the rest of the world, a place where people could go, interact with others from what we now call the community, interact with other gay men, other lesbians, other bisexual and transgender folk, to feel comfortable and safe in an environment and just socialise. So the work that we do at Vals kind of picks up Val Eastwood's theme and wants to honour that by creating places and working with service providers to create places of safety where people can just be themselves. When we do this work, it's not just for the LGBTI community, but we know from the people that we talk to that there are many people who have children and grandchildren who are accessing aged care. And sometimes they don't feel safe in those situations talking about their children or their grandchildren because they fear that the other people around them will actually pity them or patronise them about having a child who is gay or lesbian, bisexual or transgender or has an intersex variation. So for your audience, I think it's important that they think about who else, not just the people in the community, but they all have families.
So, we want people to be able to live safe and authentic lives where their lives are celebrated as well.
An older gay couple I know who went to a family wedding. Everybody was up dancing. Now, this couple have been together 40 years, but they didn't feel comfortable in dancing together. How would it feel not to dance with your significant other at a family event? That's the kind of thing, the little, the small, that can really impact on somebody. And so how do you go about changing that kind of family messaging or group club messaging that says it is okay to get up and dance together?
To finish off with, can you just give some words of encouragement to our viewers watching today who are older lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans or intersex people?
You're fabulous, you have rights and you can access services, hopefully with confidence. And we really encourage you, if you want more information, to contact us. It's also important to tell services what you want, what you need to support you. They're required to provide safe and inclusive services to everyone, and that includes older lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender and intersex Australians.
And I would be saying too, to older lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans and intersex folk, ask the younger people of the community how they are supporting and helping older people. The final thing I would say is, I know from the work that I've been doing at Vals over the last 3 years, that there is a lot being done in the ageing and aged care space. Mainstream service providers are required under the legislation to take into account the needs and interests of older LGBTI.
Yeah, and there are a lot of great organisations, and we're more than happy to help you access that information and support.
Thank you both for coming on the show and just shining a light on this whole area. And we look forward to seeing you again to discuss some other things like the rainbow tick.
Fantastic. Thanks, Carol.
Thanks, Carol.
Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?